Okay, so I realized in the editing process of this video, it's really like two videos split in half. So I want to give you this quick disclaimer and let you know that there is a timestamp down below. The first half of this video is an update on this Iran Middle East conflict. If you don't care about that, skip past it. The majority of this video is about Tesla stock. The delivery is coming tomorrow. We're going to take a look at the option activity for the day today, short interest, and I did make a pretty freaking crazy trade that I'm excited about. It's really high risk, high reward, and I will share it with you in this video. So let's go, baby, and let's get to it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We have an update on this Middle East situation, the tensions that are spiraling, as well as the biggest catalyst for Tesla, which could be in the month of October. I mean, the biggest upside catalyst, that is. We all know Tesla tends to sell off after events. The robotaxi event could be no different. Tomorrow's catalyst could send Tesla stock into a rally until October 10th. So I think tomorrow is going to be vitally important. I will share with you my estimates for Tesla deliveries, what Wall Street is saying, and my expected price action response in Tesla stock. Do I think Tesla is going higher? Or do I think Tesla stock is going lower coming tomorrow? So we have a lot of information to get into in a short amount of time as possible. Let's try to make this one a quick one. Let you guys get on with your evening. Foremost, today was a crazy day. Whether you look at oil that had a 7% round move today, whether you look at Tesla at one point was down over 4%, ended up closing the day just south of 1% negative. So it could have been a lot worse. And really over the past 2 days, Tesla stock is down about 2.5%. Whereas, well, from the high, I should say. Whereas earlier in the day today, you were down almost 6.5% from the high that you were just at yesterday. So yes, you've come back a little bit. And there was a lot that happened in markets today, from the ISM manufacturing data showing employment is really starting to get hit hard. The quits rate is falling, even more suggestive of a weakening employment market. At the same time, you had the JOLTS job openings that came in about 300,000 higher than expected, which tells a different story, which says the economy may be doing okay and companies are still looking to hire people. Neither here or there, that was not the biggest catalyst of the day today. The biggest catalyst of the day today was the attack from Iran on Israel, and some of these videos that we are seeing are just insane. Like this one. Just imagine you're driving down the street, you're doing your thing, and boom, a missile hits right next to you. Just some insane video that we are starting to see. Now, it was reported just earlier today in the briefing, the White House briefing that they do almost every day. U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan has just stated that Iran will suffer severe consequences for tonight's ballistic missile attack against Israel, and that the United States will work with Israel to make sure that is the case. So it does look likely of some kind of joint military exercise or mission between Israel and the United States. The timing for this, well, we don't know when it would happen. It could happen as soon as the next couple of hours. It could take a couple of days, or it could take a couple of weeks. But something is going to happen. And Iran has said if there's any retaliation for this attack, then, well, there's going to be all hell to pay, in just translation, for Israel. So it looks like we are just within hours or days of a larger conflict in the Middle East, and there can be financial repercussions because of this, because Iran is a heavy producer of oil that would most certainly slow down, if not outright stop for a period of time. Less supply, stable demand would mean higher energy prices. So gasoline, it's probably going to go up in the coming days, weeks, and over the next few months. Which oil has been falling for really the past couple of years, but if you do see a larger conflict in the Middle East that causes oil to spike in any kind of material way, that's again one of the last things you would want to see. when the economy is already as weak as it is. You have a port strike, let's say oil rallies significantly and gas becomes more expensive. That could be the tipping factor to push this economy into a recession. And I think that's the importance of this Middle East situation. If there were to be a larger conflict or just outright, full-on war, then that's not going to be good for energy markets, and that's not going to be good for the U.S. prospects of avoiding a recession. Because as I'm sure most of you guys already know, you tend to see a spike of energy that tends to be that last pushing factor before a recession. You've seen this in 2008, you've seen this in the 2000s. You tend to get that oil spike, and then economic activity tends to severely slow down as a consequence. I mean, just psychologically, it does affect people. If people are already struggling, they already don't have a lot of money, and now they got to put more money in the gas tank, and they're looking at the price of gas, and they're saying, it's $4, $5 now. Yeah, we'll just not go there, or we'll just not do this, or we'll not buy that, right? That tends to be the psychological aspect that affects markets and really the economy as a whole when gas prices do go higher. It's also reported that Iran used hypersonic Fatah missiles in the Israel attack. These are missiles that can travel at 5,000 to 6,000 miles per hour, almost impossible to intercept with any high degree of accuracy. With that said, let's switch gears to discuss Tesla stock and what I'm expecting for tomorrow morning, because while this situation in the Middle East is important and is going to have a large impact on markets, especially if this thing does spiral into a larger conflict, in the near term, the number for Tesla tomorrow morning is the most important thing. Now, Tesla is going to report their Q3 production and delivery results tomorrow morning, October 2nd, between 8 and 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So before Wall Street actually opens, Wall Street is expecting a delivery number of 462,000. As Mark here on X writes, tomorrow begins a fun 2 weeks. Delivery numbers tomorrow, Robotaxi event on October 10th, and earnings on October 16th. So we do have multiple other catalysts, not just Tesla delivery numbers tomorrow, but I think Tesla delivery numbers tomorrow, if you guys have watched the video that I put out recently in regards to my official estimate for Tesla deliveries, I'm giving this thing a range because we don't know how strong the US was. I'm assuming the US was mildly strong, not super strong, but at least mildly strong. And that should get us to about 474,000 deliveries on the lower side. On the higher side, as high as 485,000 deliveries would not surprise me. Anything higher than that, if we come in the 490s or 500 plus, I'll be a little bit surprised. Now, I also think it's important the composition of Tesla deliveries. If more Model S and X's were sold, that's going to be good for Tesla because they're higher ticket, higher margin vehicles. Now, at the same time, if there's more inventory that was sold, that's also going to be very good for Tesla margins and bottom line profitability. Now, the one thing that I can really say here is inventory numbers really peaked in this latest quarter around the last week of August for the Model Y, Model 3, even the S and X seen a spike here. And they have been getting wound down like throughout the rest of, September, right? Really throughout September, there was a big decline in overall inventory numbers. And this leads me to believe that perhaps there was quite the inventory rundown in the last quarter. So even if we do get 474,000 or 475,000 deliveries, if we see inventory potentially fall another, 20, 30,000 vehicles like we seen last quarter, that's going to be really good news for Tesla. Because again, in a perfect world, a perfect company would sell everything that they produce every quarter. There would be no inventory. There would be no backlog. Okay. So perhaps Tesla sells more vehicles than they produced. That would be really good news for Tesla as well. Now, Wedbush says that Q3 deliveries are going to beat forecast, and the Robotaxi event is going to unveil game-changing tech. They say here Tesla is expected to report Q3 deliveries above market forecasts, while the Robotaxi event is likely to unveil some game-changing autonomous technology. Wedbush said in a note on Tuesday, the company is expected to announce on Wednesday Q3 deliveries above the market estimate of 462,000 units, with projections between 465 and 470,000 units, according to the note. The Robotaxi event set for October 10th is expected to provide updates on Tesla's next-gen platform, full self-driving technology, and AI features, along with announcements including overall cost per mile and a Tesla rideshare app, the investment firm said. After facing softer electric vehicle demand earlier in 2024, Q3 is anticipated to mark a solid rebound for Tesla, especially due to increasing demand from China. According to Wedbush analyst, Wedbush maintained an outperform rating and a $300 price target for Tesla. Now, here on the day today, you had 231 different trades totaling $109 million with a positive order value of 83%. So you're continuing on this streak of massive option positioning into Tesla. Look at some of these trades. A June 19th, 2025, 560 calls. 560 calls. That's crazy. Okay, that is a very, very bullishly positioned trade. Look at this one for October 3rd expiration, a 270 call. I mean, Tesla's $257 right now. These are all very risky, high risk, high reward trades. Look at these. June 17, 2026, 500, 450, 500, 450, another 450 here. All these calls coming through. Some of these worth millions of dollars a piece. So what did I do? Well, I did my own high risk, high reward trade to really put my money where my mouth is, okay? I think tomorrow's event could be an outsized positive catalyst for Tesla. What I mean by that is the markets are pricing in around a 7% rally for Tesla tomorrow. I think this could be as high as 20% if delivery numbers come in really good. So I did make a high risk, high reward trade for this event. Now, this is the trading community, at least the section in which I send out alerts. So this was an alert that was sent out at 3:49 p.m. today. I really mulled with myself over this, whether or not I wanted to make this high risk, high reward trade. And the more I looked at the options, the more it made sense. And I think that explains why you're seeing a lot of very bullish, some short term bullish trades as well. Now, what this trade is, and do not do this trade, this is not a recommendation. You will not make money at this point off of this trade. But just to give a little bit of a reference, this is a, I guess if you will, YOLO kind of trade. Now, I think showing this trade can also signify the importance of sometimes playing things small, okay? I think Wall Street's wrong. I think Tesla could rally big tomorrow. This is a debit spread. I bought 50 of them. The 300s, so I bought the 300s, sold the 305s, max gain of $500 a piece. There's 50 of them. This trade has a max gain of $24,000 plus if you actually factor out the 300 that I spent, it does have a max gain of $25,000. Let me just double check that real quick. Yeah, it has a max gain of $25,000. If you include the 350 that I spent, right, you do have a max gain of $24,750. If Tesla closes above 305 by this Friday, I don't think that's a crazy trade. I think Tesla could close above 305 by this Friday. Now, this trade will do exceptionally well if Tesla does rally at least 10% tomorrow. So with this trade, I'm basically putting up $350 to say Tesla will at least rally at least 7%. But 10+% is where this trade starts to get juicy. I think it's an 18% move to get the max gain. We can go ahead and double check here. I believe it's about 18% Tesla would need to move. Yeah, about 18 18.3%, no, right on 18%, to give you that max gain. I like that risk to reward. And while I don't do trades like this all of the time, it does make sense sometimes to take a little bit of a gamble. And don't be confused, this is a gamble. This is a gamble that says I think Tesla sold more vehicles than Wall Street expects. And I think the surprise could be large to the upside if we do get a surprise. And these things were going for 7 cents a piece. And again, I provide a full breakdown. I say that we need probably between 485 to 500,000 deliveries tomorrow for this trade to hit max gain. Overall, very risky trade. Do not do it. You will lose money at this point. It is too late to make a similar trade. You'll have to join the trading community to see the next time a trade like that is made. If you like taking high risk with, again, small amounts of money, you want to use small amounts of money in these trades and try to turn that into a large amount of money, right? $350, it's not a crazy amount of money, but if your portfolio is $2,000, like that is a huge outsized risk that doesn't make sense with a low probability trade. Now, in this case, I think there's probably a 20% chance that Tesla actually does rally 15-20% tomorrow. Actually, I think there's probably a 35% chance that Tesla could rally that much tomorrow. So it makes sense to take a more speculative trade. In my personal opinion, again, this is my perspective, for one of those high risk, high reward trades. So really with that trade, I'm just putting my money where my mouth is, because as I have said in prior videos, I do think Tesla's going to come in between 475,000 deliveries and around 485,000 deliveries. If I'm wrong, if I'm undershooting things and things come in better than that, if deliveries come in higher than 485,000, you are likely going to get a very parabolic rally in Tesla stock. Again, because we have this robotaxi event upcoming, we have earnings upcoming, there are other catalysts to look forward to, and the robotaxi event is going to be a positive event for Tesla, right? Even if we are disappointed, even if maybe we don't get everything we want, it's still going to be a positive event. And I've expected a bit of a rally heading into the robotaxi event, and I think this delivery number could really kickstart that, and that's my expectation. So let's just say Tesla comes in with 474,000 deliveries, the lower end of my target. You're probably going to get a 7% rally tomorrow. Not super exciting, but that would be the highest level we have been at since at least early 2024. That would put Tesla at about $276 per share. If Tesla deliveries come in above 280,000, we'll probably get a 10% rally. That's putting Tesla at about $285 per share. If we get between 490 and 500, then you're going to get up to a 20% move tomorrow. And a 20% move tomorrow is going to put Tesla stock at about $310 per share. Now, what happens after that? I don't know. That's more of a gap up, right? That's what I could see in kind of a gap up like scenario. Could Tesla gap up 15%, then rally to 20%? You know, perhaps that's possible. Could Tesla go up 7% and then ultimately rally to 15% by the end of the day? That's also possible as well. But I'm growing more optimistic, or I have been in the last couple of days, for Tesla deliveries, and especially the fact that we sold off today for Tesla, although we were down a lot, that we kind of recovered that. So I think, you know, some people were smart enough to take advantage of that, of some of the lows today, get some cheap options, get some cheap trades, and people definitely did that. Whereas a lot of stocks did not see that big of a recovery like Tesla did. So I think that's also a good sign heading into tomorrow. All of your different metrics look good. The RSI at 65, the MACD at 11.21, signal line at 8.69. All of this looks good. And just from a technical perspective, you know, Tesla tends to get these melt ups and then get the big gap ups, right? You tend to kind of melt up for a period, and then you get most of the rally within like 3 or 4 days. So it wouldn't surprise me if the delivery numbers tomorrow start that gap up rally. because we have been melting up for a while. It wouldn't surprise me if tomorrow could be a big day for Tesla. So let me know what you think about this down below in the comment section. Hit the like button as well as subscribe to the channel. You guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.